Welcome to our channel, where we share our adventures and mishaps from around the world. In today's video, we're taking on a wild ride through Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It all started with a delicious banana leaf meal, but things quickly took an unexpected turn when we found ourselves caught up in a scam at a barber shop in Bukit Bintang.
I'm not paying 120, boss.
Little did we know, this would lead to us making Malaysian news the next day.
Pengarah Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri dan Kos Sara Hidup KPDN
So join
Kuala
us as we
Lumpur.
recount our crazy journey filled with twists and turns.
This is going to go YouTube, by the way.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah?
Alright, so we have made it to Oh Yeah Banana Leaf, and apparently the most popular one is the bamboo chicken biryani and also the bamboo chicken nasi lemak. So I think we're going to get both and then we'll share and just taste both of them. So basically it's going to be a meal served on a banana leaf. We eat with our hands, and I think it's made in like a bamboo tube and they tap it out. So I'm so excited to see how it comes out.
Can I order the bamboo chicken biryani and one bamboo chicken nasi lemak? Put on this side, please. So what's this? Mint? Sorry? Chutney. Ah. That's raita. Is it cucumber? Wow. Nasi lemak. Terima kasih.
So cool. They have literally come out and they have tapped out of a bamboo, and it's so much rice. I've got rice, the chicken biryani, the egg. We'd call this a poppadom in the UK. I'm not sure what you'd call it here. And then this is a chutney. Not sure. And then some kind of sauce here as well. So let's give it a go. Chutney first. Very interesting. Let's just go for it. Eat with our hands. Here's my chicken biryani. Oh, it's very hot. Oh, I can't hold it. Oh my god, the flavour.
Is it good?
That is the most flavourful. Oh my god. It's not as spicy as I thought it was going to be. It's very sweet. Oh no, it is a bit hot. It's kind of hard eating rice with your hand. Oh my god. Chicken's really good as well. I'm gonna have some of this with it for some texture. So good. 10 out of 10.
Alright, I'm gonna try the nasi lemak now. Oh, there's just so many things. I got my poppadoms, first things first. The chutney, isn't it?
I've never had a chutney like that before. So good.
So if you don't know what nasi lemak is, it's basically Malaysians' national food. It's like their main food. Like in the Philippines, the national food is adobo. So here in Malaysia, it's nasi lemak. It's basically like coconut rice with chicken, eggs, anchovies, and some sauce. But anyway, it's 10-10. Telling you, it's my favorite. That's what I've been eating for the past days that we've been here. But anyway, give this a go. Got my egg. Look at that. Just look at that. Oh my god.
Nice. How's the rice?
The rice is amazing, and the chicken is 10 out of 10. Like, the sauce is not too spicy, it's just I say it's mild.
I've never had
So
a
no.
curry with my hands before, so this is going to be messy.
Same.
I'm wondering what I have
What
this
is sauce?
sauce with.
Mm.
Is it with the papadum or the rice?
Alright. Really good.
Nice, but spicy.
Mm.
Sari's a lot better at eating with his hands than me.
Used to it, that's why.
Yeah.
And our drinks here, you got a Milo. Milo's actually very popular here in Malaysia. Alright, so I'm gonna try the chicken biryani Zoe's got. Let's try and get a good bit of chicken in there. So this one. This one, it looks like the same as my chicken. But let's give this a go. Mmm. Mmm.
Good rice.
The rice is amazing. There's just so many flavors, like, oh my god. Spices, there's so many spices, like, I can't work out what's in it. And it smells absolutely amazing. But I think Zoe's chicken biryani is more spicy. My one's okay.
Yeah, chicken is actually the exact same. Have the rice.
It's like plain rice.
That's what I love about nasi lemak. The rice is so fragrant. Fragrant? Is that smell or taste? I don't know, but
That's not.
so many different flavors in
It's
there.
like,
It's subtle, but it's it makes all the difference.
you can
It's
taste
so
the coconut.
like I think it's coconut and pandan.
Mm.
It's so good.
Okay, so that was amazing. What an amazing experience as well, because it's completely different than the Philippines. Because in the Philippines, it's like a very long banana leaf with loads of different food in it. And yeah, but the flavor on this food, on the biryani and the nasi lemak, there's just so many in the spices. Just smells amazing. The aroma, oh my god. But anyway, this was nice. We finished now, and I think when you're finished, you just fold the banana leaf, just like that. And then, look, clean, quick. You don't need to do your washing up, except the spoon.
Your hands aren't very
But
clean.
my hand's not very clean, like, look at that. This is my third time washing it, by the way. And it's still colourful.
Thank you.
It's 46.80 ringgit. Can I pay by card?
Oh my god, that was such a good experience. I'm so full now, and it was just amazing watching how many flavors go into it when we watch them cooking it, and just the taste is insane. So many flavors.
So many flavors.
So many aromas as well. Like everything was just crazy.
Just look at my stomach now. Look. I'm so
It's very full, but it was pretty affordable too. So Zara's nasi lemak was 13 ringgit 90, and the biryani was 19.90. Now, of course, you can get much cheaper local food than that, but I like that this is an experience, and this is also different as well because you don't normally get it coming out of the bamboo tubes. So I think it's definitely worth it, and for something that's a little bit more unique, I think that's a pretty good price.
And it's a good portion as well, guys.
Massive. Couldn't finish it all.
Well, I finished mine. Don't know about you.
Didn't finish it.
Well, there was only like one handful left.
But yeah, we've had such a good time.
Little did we know what was about to happen next. Do you do taper fade?
Yeah.
Taper. And then just a little bit on the top.
Where are you from?
I'm from Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend? Philippines?
No. Yeah, she looks Filipino, doesn't she? So the night before, I googled what a normal haircut should cost here in Kuala Lumpur. But this guy tried to charge us 120 ringgit and it should normally cost 20 to 50 ringgit. So I went to get some cash out in this shop and asked some locals and they agreed with me and it should not be over 50 ringgit. But anyway, let's go back to the video. 120 ringgit is too much. 120 ringgit is 50 ringgit.
We've just asked the locals. They said that's not how much it should be.
Local people, we cut for them price. You understand?
They said it's 50 ringgit. It's
Brother,
expensive.
brother, the local people, they have their hairdresser. They
so
don't
you're-
have the, they don't have
This
tax,
is,
they don't have anything.
But you can't base the price just because you know we're from England. That's not
no,
how
no,
it
no,
works.
no, because
This is,
about your,
by the way, this is going online. By the way, it's going YouTube.
brother, this is local people. We don't have tax. We don't have rental. We don't have anything.
Oh,
brother.
so for foreigner, it's expensive.
No. Local people cut cheap, but not here.
Okay, a little bit more, but you don't go as much as that. You've tripled the
120
price.
No, believe me, it's hey,
Brother,
Okay.
50. You understand?
50 ringgit, yeah?
No. You understand? It's 50 here.
I'm not paying 120, boss.
You can go here. In Chinese
Yeah.
people, 50 for hair,
Yeah, 50 for hair.
but in cheap place. Here we cut for 70. Chinese cut hair for 50. You
70.
understand?
Okay, 70 ringgit then.
No, but you the beard.
This is very tiny. One.
Not about the big or small. It's beard, bro.
I'll give you 100. I'm not paying 120, boss.
Okay, give me 110. No problem.
No.
100, boss.
10, okay.
100.
Okay, give me now.
This is going. This
I
is going.
understand you, bro.
This is going to go YouTube, by the way.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah?
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Alright, so he tried to charge us 120 ringgit. And that's like about 20 quid. That's more than how much I pay in the UK.
He was trying to say that just because, so it's only 50 for locals because they don't have much money. Now, fair enough if you're going to add a little bit more, but he's like well over doubled the price, and it's not fair for them just to assume just because we've come from abroad that means that we're made of money and it's okay to charge us that much. It's really annoyed me actually. And that does, by the way, it doesn't speak for the whole of Malaysia. It's the first time it's ever happened to us.
First time in
But
Malaysia, that.
I'm lucky. The local even said to us, no, you shouldn't be paying more than 50, even in this area.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. I mean, we ended up paying 100, which is still too much. But I don't know. I hope he
That's
sleeps
like-
well tonight.
That's
all I
3 days
say.
dinner, guys.
It just takes advantage. Like, I don't mean this horribly, but it gives people a bad impression because now just that one thing that he's done there has ruined our day now. And imagine if it was our first time here, we weren't regular
We wouldn't know.
travellers, maybe we wouldn't want to come back. Luckily, we've seen good sides of the country and we do like it here. But you've got to think about the lasting impression that leaves on tourists. Okay, so when you're in the situation, even when you know you're being scammed, it's really hard because you're just not sure what you're supposed to do. Like, do we just give him what we think it's worth and walk away? Like, we just didn't know what the right thing to do was. We'd already asked 2 locals. They told us it shouldn't be more than 50. Even in the clip, there's a part where Zar looks to his side and says, brother, 50 ringgit, yeah? And he just walked past. Zar was expecting him to maybe come and help after our earlier conversation, but he just walked past. So that was a little bit disappointing. However, there was still a little bit of doubt in me, like, what if this guy truly does charge 120 ringgit for his haircuts? Maybe this is normal in this area, like he's saying. Maybe this tax or whatever is a thing, even though I was sure it wasn't. Angered by this, but also unsure, I thought I'll make a TikTok. And the response I got on the TikTok was definitely we had got scammed. The response from the Malaysian community was something I have never seen before. Never have I seen a scam video turn out with police investigating and putting charges on people, which at first I thought, At first I was like, oh, that's very extreme. But now the more I think about it, we gave that man every opportunity to bring his price down. We told him we knew that he was overcharging. We went and asked locals. We told him twice that we were going to put it online. And at no point did he decide he was going to lower his prices. So we don't feel that bad at all, to be honest. And we think that it's just a brilliant response to the scam to show people you shouldn't be doing this. Because at the end of the day, we want people to know that they cannot just scam tourists, and we want tourists to also be aware of this. It's so easy to become a victim of a scam, even if you're well traveled like us. In the situation, you just don't know how to respond. You don't know what to do because it's not your country and you don't know how things work. Even back home in our country, in the UK, tourists unfortunately get scammed too. It's not just a Malaysia problem, it's definitely a worldwide problem. It's part of traveling, it's very sad, it shouldn't happen, but unfortunately it does. And I think the only way we can avoid it is by talking about it and bringing awareness to these scams so people know to look out for them. It's also good because other people thinking of doing the same scams may think again after seeing the response to this scam. Despite not understanding the news report ourselves, lots of you got in touch with us and told us what was said. We've also seen all the ones online which were written in English, and it turns out that not only did he admit to overcharging, he's also been charged with not displaying prices. And whilst we were in there, they tried to charge another foreigner 250 ringgit for a haircut, so it wasn't just us. The news report also confirmed that they were not Malaysian. One man was from Algeria and the other was from Pakistan. And we just want to make sure that this doesn't happen to other people and also show you our experience. Now, we had a very negative experience, but the response to that negative experience was so positive we couldn't even imagine. So we want to thank Malaysia for such an amazing response to our scam.
Despite the scam, we enjoyed our food and the rest of our trip actually here in Malaysia.
So we've loved Malaysia so much and we can't wait to show you so many positive videos in the next coming weeks.
We're not normally like this. We're normally a happy person, joy, lots of energy.
But I think it's important to show people that these things do happen and also to spread awareness to other tourists and also to other people thinking of doing the same thing.
But if you're excited for the next video,
It's a big one.
so give this video a like and we'll see you there.
Bye.
Peace.